Hey guys, and welcome to episode 0 of my Minecraft Let's Play. This is actually quite a special episode because it is the first episode, but it's also the first video on my entire YouTube channel. So I've been playing a lot of Minecraft recently. I've been playing it on and off for a fair few years, and I've decided that because this is the map that I've spent the most time in, I've never stayed this long in one map, I decided to start recording myself and stick it on YouTube, see what you guys think. Although, however, that does mean that we're not starting from scratch, we'll be starting from what I've already got. So you can see I have a diamond sword and some diamond gear and what have you. So that's why this episode 0 exists. It is for a little tour of my base. So let's head over there. So this is the house that I started with. It started quite small and then got bigger, expanded. Essentially, I am not a very good aesthetic builder. I go for functionality over things, as you can see here, although this is a bit of a mess at the minute, especially on that second layer. But we'll get to that. So this is the house that I made. So without further ado, if I can hit the button. First level, nothing special. Little map. A double smelter just with lava buckets, just for little things I can find. Apparently eggs as well. Just like to dump them in there. Don't know why. Storage. A little sheep room. Oh good god. I can't even get in there anymore. There's that many of them. No, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get out. Yeah, I'm stuck in here forever now. That doesn't look comfortable. Let's head down. So I made this little mine shaft area, just a very basic area. You've got the shaft itself, and then we come off with little things. So I thought it was adorable to call this a cow farm when I started. I'm hoping to look at getting some of those automated ones. I don't know if they do cow ones. I know that you can get automated chicken breeders, well not breeders, but egg dispensers I guess, and cookers and what have you, so we'll have a look into this. But this was more for leather than anything, and food actually. You can see I'm eating steak. This is the first proper farm I built though. I say proper, it's semi-automatic. Obviously pistons holding the water, you flick the levers and the water takes the potatoes all the way down to the end. I actually have an automatic one now, which I'll show you in a little bit. Which is why this one's fully grown, but I guess I'll just leave it in case I need to sort of ever harvest loads of potatoes. Okay, so going down from my cow farm, we have this area, which used to, actually, well, I'm going to take this out. This used to be I say sugarcane farm, it wasn't really a room full of sugarcane growing. Back when I first started, I don't have any blocks. Oh, let me put my gear on before I forget. But it wasn't, it was just a room full of sugarcane that I would collect. Well, we have automatic ones now. I've made some progress. That's why I think I stayed in this world for long, because I've made so much progress. So what these are for the non-untrained eye? The trained eye? The trained eye? Automatic pumpkin and melon farms. This is actually the only pumpkin one I have, but I'm thinking of changing that up because I actually pumpkins for jack-o'-lanterns, whereas melons I don't. And there's quite a few of them, as you can see they go right far back. And essentially the melon or pumpkin grows here, the lever powers the block which powers the repeater. When the melon or pumpkin grows, that block then powers the piston which extends it, breaks it, puts it into the hopper, and then you end up with no power going through here, so the piston depowers. So they're just very basic. They've been running for a very long time. I think they're quite efficient, but they're not. They've been running for ages. And then after I built those, I realised I was on the top of a slime jug. So we have a relatively efficient slime farm. It's not the fastest thing in the world. I do have some slime resources upstairs, but it just produces what I need. I mean, I'm not on a big server. I'm not building, you know, mumbo jumbo style flying and walking machines. So this is all I need. The slime spawn here. For those of you who aren't familiar, they go into the water and they get pushed along here. They go into the magma cubes and die. And because the chests aren't full blocks, the hoppers behind the chests can pick them up. A very chaotic hopper system running into two chests here. I hate ladders. I hate ladders. I hate ladders. I hate ladders. So after an eternity of climbing, we're back in the mine shaft. These chests are for sort of the one-off non-stackable things. mostly, I say, from the villager trading that I did. So I called this a temporary area. I'm going to call it a temporary area. It's not a temporary area. I built this area first, put villagers in it, and the aim was to get one of every villager. So there should be, and there's 5 walking around, and the aim was to get them all up to the Diamond Master level. So there's a librarian, a farmer, there's that guy, a toolsmith, an armourer. This is a toolsmith. This is the new guy that's bred, because there's 6 beds, and I keep 5 of these guys out. So here we go. So this is the weaponsmith, the master guy. No, thank you. Oh, hello. So yeah, I keep the 5 out, and then the toolsmith guy here is bred, and then the rest of them here, excuse me, I've put into little isolation booths. It was just getting a bit busy, and then when someone breeds a new one, they come over here, and then there's a little, it's not even a piston elevator or anything, it's just a piston block placer thing that pushes them up to the surface so I can take them where I need them. I say temporary because it's an absolute nightmare to take them from here all the way up, and it's not clean or nice looking or anything, and you just get random iron golems spawning all the time, and it takes forever to kill them. And if you get, dude, well, you can't put your trades up for jumping in front of my arrow. Stop breeding. We don't need any more of you. I'm already hitting you with arrow. Oh, they're attacking. Oh, the iron golem. Dude. There we go, finally. Okay, so if we're finally out of there, we follow this mine shaft down. There's a basic strip mine at the very bottom I'm not going to show you. And then we've got Neverwalk Farm. I have done a bit of end busting. As you can see, I don't have an elite trap on. That's because I broke them. Well, they don't break permanently, do they? But they break and can't be used again. So I'm looking. I don't have a mini villager yet. So I'm looking to start maybe a phantom farm, or maybe go end busting and get another elite chip. But I got this guy. This was what I got the very first time I went end busting, when I was scared to go any further. I went quickly to the end islands, got enough chorus fruit to make end rods for the iron farm that you'll see, and I got this guy, and I know we won't grow there before everyone blasts me in the comments. I didn't know when I placed it, that's why I placed it there, but yeah, I need to sort that out. I haven't been bothered. And then my nether portal, which is to nowhere special, just takes you into the nether. You've got a couple of tunnels in there. One takes you through to a Badlands biome for terracotta, and one takes you through to the stronghold for the end portal. So moving on upstairs, it was our old storage system. As we've discussed, there's a storage system there. It's a little bit messy at the minute. There's just a bit of stuff all over the place. I haven't really stuck to it. Some chests are empty. It's because some things have been migrated over into here. I've got storage silos in there that are working. So some stuff's gone over, but then the general storage underneath isn't up and running yet. So it's a bit of a mess. So you might have noticed I've got some pillager signs around. They actually burnt down my entire house. They came, well, I say they, I did. I didn't have a good bow at that time, so I was using lava to take them out from this little perch up here. Dropping lava onto them and burning them, but apparently fire tick is on, and I don't think I've changed that yet, so we really need to be careful. Anyway, very basic chicken farm, we need to sort that. I have friendly mob volume down to 10%, and you could still hit, listen. Can you imagine if they were on 100% less? Cover your ears if you're wearing earphones. Jesus. And you can hear sheep, chickens, and you could hear the cows a minute ago. I'm going to turn it off. So, spawn is over there, just beyond this spruce biome. There's a jungle biome, that's where you start. So I brought bamboo over, mainly for a fuel source. I know it's not the best, but we will work on that. Hopefully maybe sort of kelp farm out or something. Maybe a wither skeleton farm where we can get some coal. I don't really know how that works. We're one of the first things we're doing is a tree farm, because this is becoming a nightmare with chopping them down, replacing the saplings and everything. So yeah, that's kind of temporary. A lot of things are temporary. This is where the villagers come up when you put them through, and then I can take them over here and we'll go and have a look at the iron farm. So this is our iron farm. You can see there's a zombie there in a minecart. Each one of these corners has 3 villagers, 3 beds, 2 workstations, drops down up the minecart rail into the water. It slows it down long enough for those villagers to panic and spawn an iron golem in the water. He drops through, and then the zombie moves on to the next quarter. The iron golem then falls into a lava blade and burns, and this is where all of the drops come in. So yeah, this is quite efficient. I mean, I have this many iron blocks here, this many pieces of iron here, and then I have a load more iron blocks over in the storage system. You can see this is a mini Bonemeal Farm just for the poppies and a little item filter to take them out. Sometimes these get through and I don't know how. But I've taken this hopper out here because I'm actually trying to save up the poppies, because I'm working on, in the storage system, getting stuff, the colourful stuff, so using dyes for like stained glass panes, wool, carpets, concrete powder, and terracotta, and glazed terracotta. So yeah, I'm using a lot of dyes at the minute. So red's quite useful because obviously it makes red, but then you've got purple, orange, magenta, pink. So yeah, trying to save those. So we're over here now, and this is my automatic sugarcane farm, and it feeds down here into the sugarcane storage silo. I'm not going to go up here because their farms up there are partly broken, but mostly because it's really loud. That's why it's built so high. The pistons are because they're going. There's zero-tick farms up there. There's 5 zero-tick Sugarcane Farm that drops down here. I kind of need to take this out, but I had an accident and lost my Silk Touch pickaxe, so I can't actually take glass out. But that's what these replaced. You saw a harvest then. Yeah, this isn't perfectly lossless, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, so they replaced that because they stopped working. 2 bamboo ones, which generate bamboo, and drop down that second one to go into our super smelter. We're actually running out. I could probably do with turning those on. The thing is, I turned them on and then they... That's embarrassing. So as I was saying, I turned them on and then they break after a while of running, but they run enough to get me some fuel and stuff. But hopefully I'm looking at doing a bamboo farm, maybe over there, maybe where the trees are over here, using slime blocks, flying machines, automatic one, so hopefully that can come soon. And then we have an XP farm, which for those of you that don't know is a bamboo zero-tick farm and a cactus zero-tick farm feeding into an array of furnaces. There's a storage system here. Furnaces output constantly. You flick a lever when you want the XP, and then the furnaces hold their items. You collect them, and then you get all of the XP for smelting those items. It's quite efficient, quite nice actually. But yeah, we're not going to go up there because it's quite loud. So moving on, we have this storage system here. Again, I'm doing things with dyes, aren't I? So I needed brown dye. This is the input chests, and then it comes down here. So this is the first level I built. Now, as you can see, it is a little bit higgledy-piggledy. This is my dyes chest. At the moment, with chests all over the place, you can see them down here. But essentially, this is my storage silo area, and you can see this is what I meant by our iron farm. It's quite efficient. Yeah, they're bled into that back chest as well. So what happens is the lights light up when things go fill up, but I mean we don't have a lot of resources yet. I've been focusing on gathering all of the different resources rather than lots of one resource. But you can see the amount. So if we were to look at this dirt one, is it dirt? Yeah, for example, the items coming from the top, from the hopper stream, from those chests, and then what you end up with is the item filters here. So these item filters are a mumbo jumbo design, and the storage silo is a mumbo jumbo design. I've just put them together. So the items come down here into the dirt item filter, so only dirt comes through here, and they filter down, and when the dirt comes back into this hopper, this comparator comes on, powers the bottom redstone lamp, when they fill up this chest and fill this hopper, this comparator comes on, powers the second redstone lamp, and so on. So it's actually measuring the hopper level that they're in. So for this iron one, for example, yeah, they've bled into the back chest, but the light actually came on. I don't know if I can get it yet, when this hopper started to get items in it. And this is what I meant by the slime farm. It's generating enough. This is going to be changed to slime blocks as well, and that maybe will be lapis blocks. Potentially, because this is bulk storage, so I want it to be proper bulk storage. Maybe redstone blocks as well. Yeah. So moving on down, I built this layer next, but then, because I was going to do more storage silos, but I thought I have 19 there. The only reason I have 19 is because it doesn't go all the way to the end because of my super smelter, which actually I haven't shown you. I'll show you when we go back up. But if I could get 20 on here, I'm not going to be able to store too many items, like the items I don't have a lot of. So I thought I'll do this instead. But then I'd already built down to this layer, so now putting in a middle layer in and working around with it and digging it out. Yeah, and I'm basically going to do what I've done down here, up here. So if I can get behind these guys to show you, simple item sorters, item filters. You put, I think it's 1, 1, 1, 1, and 18 in there. And that brings the signal strength to here from this comparator. As soon as one more item comes in, it powers this repeater, which powers this block, which turns off this redstone torch and unlocks this hopper and lets things flow through. So we've got quite a lot. I think that's 9. I think that's 30. That's 30. So that's 60 just in those two. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 72 plus the 9, 81 here. And then there's going to be another, so what's that, 162 different items. And this is what I'm doing. I'm collecting the items. The only problem I'm having is I think I might have to redesign some of the item filters. I'm not 100% sure, because things like I can work on getting more gold ingots, but things like diamond blocks, gold blocks, I have enough of those. They're just somewhere else. It's going to be difficult to get 18 of them plus 22 of them just for the filter. Never mind to actually have any in the chest. I'd actually need 25 because I need one in the item frame at the front. But this is what I was talking about the colour blocks. I need to do some more concrete in, because I only, for some reason, collected 8 of every concrete colour. But yeah, half a stack of all the terracottas, half a stack of all the glazed terracottas, half a stack of all the wool, some carpets, some stained glass, a stack of the panes. And now I'm working on nether stuff, so nether quartz. I think, where did I put it? Somewhere I'm working on the pillars and the quartz pillars and things like that. And the quartz blocks. I actually trade for these quartz blocks because I can't think of anything worse than using quartz you found in the nether to make quartz blocks, so it takes a while, that's why it's only part done. So yeah, aside from digging those things out for progress, I have this guy, the Super Smelter. Again, a mumbo jumbo design. I'm a big fan. Flick the lever and that hopper will turn on. The reason there's lots of potatoes in there is because there's a potato farm, but we'll talk about that in a minute. It's basically a Bonemeal Farm, but hey ho. And this is the input, and then the fuel comes from the bamboo things to the back. So you can see they're always stocked. And when actually, I might run this quickly. Let's flick that on. So all the potatoes will start making their way into the system. They'll go along these hoppers at the back, and when they reach the end, the comparator should flick on. Any second now. There we go, which turned off that torch, turned off the repeater, which turned off these this redstone line, which drops the items from the hopper into that hopper, and then when it happens again, drops from that hopper into the furnaces, so the furnaces turn on. In this particular case, from the automatic potato farm, the potatoes get smelted and item filtered out under this furnace into a composter, which then bone meals them and sends the bone meal through into our system here, and hopefully that's going to power our tree farm one day. So we're heading over here behind the sugarcane farms out. Yeah, I went end busting. and I only could get Feather Falling 2 on my boots after I lost them. They broke. So this is, get back to the point, this is a villager trading booth. This is one that I designed. It's a bit all over the place at the minute. Not the best. But essentially there's a zombie back there. You click this lever and it drops the villager down low enough for the zombie to be able to attack. His name is Roger. Yeah, he can't reach them without it, and then yeah, you drop them down on the pistons, he kills them, well, turns them into a zombie villager, and then you use a splash potion of weakness and a golden apple to convert them. The reason I haven't filled it up is because I didn't realise how expensive golden apples were. I need a gold farm before I do that, which is what we're hopefully going to be working on next episode, which will get some golden apples, but I'm hoping on doing a better trading hall design. It's actually the one that Mumbo Jumbo and I believe Iskal85 are using on the Hermitcraft server. I'm just going to put it along here and then maybe another row and stuff. So the reason I've got these guys is because I have the Sugarcane Farms, so I can use paper to trade with them. Right. So I think the only thing left to show you is this automatic potato farm. Now, before you all tell me, oh, you've done it wrong. I have done it wrong. This level works. The farmer is in the actual field, but this level I put them in the wrong way around, okay, and the farmer's in there, so these potatoes are actually getting harvested. But essentially what's supposed to happen is this guy's supposed to be a farmer, he harvests the potatoes, replants them, and then any excess he throws to this guy, because this guy's hungry, doesn't have anything in his inventory. And then the hoppers take them away, down into the store, a little chest system here, that was temporary, and then these hoppers take them into my storage system for them to go into the super smelter and become bone. So, now that we've had a little tour of the area, what we're going to do is we're going to create a little plan. So, well, I say little, it's 5 blocks tall, 6 blocks tall. So, this is essentially a little board that we're going to put item frames on to determine what we want to do, because I'm very, very bad at saying, oh, I want to do that, and then I do 10% of it, and then don't do any more. Not all. So, yeah, this is going to be like a little tracker. The very first thing I want to do, and I mentioned it before, down at the village trading hall, is that I want a good village trading hall, so we need golden apples. So, we're going for a gold farm. So, I don't know if you saw, my render distance is probably too short, but just beyond the iron farm over there, there is a big tower, and it's a nether portal to take you on top of the roof of the nether. I'm glad I wasn't recording at that point because it was embarrassing. But yeah, we're going to build a gold farm up there, get enough gold to make some golden apples for a good village breeder. Okay, so after that, we want to make a good villager trading hall. That may bring us to build a better villager breeder just off the shore here, so I could sort of funnel them straight in. I think that's probably the best way to do it, but yeah, we definitely want a villager hall. This might sound a bit daft, but I'm actually going to take that down. I've had a think between clips, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a mushroom farm first, and that sounds really stupid. Like, first thing you're going to build is a gold farm, the second thing you're going to build is a mushroom farm, and then a spider eye farm. But for those of you that know, you cure villagers with splash potions of weakness. Currently, that is one of my 6 mushrooms I have. So it'd be great if I could have a mushroom farm. Also, spider eyes, I'm not sure if they're player killed only drops, but there are some spider spawners, well, cave spider spawners down by my slime farm. There's also one just over there, near where all those sheep are in the distance, just underground. So if we could do that, we already have a sugarcane farm, that gives us the fermented spider eye that you use to create splash potions of weakness. So then we can make a good villager trading hall. After that, I want to upgrade our potato farm slightly, the automatic one. I want to fix the top layer and then make at least another 2, maybe 3 layers. And that is so that we can make a wood farm that's got enough bone meal to keep going for long sessions. harvesting wood is just a pain. Next we're going to work on a automatic flying machine style bamboo farm to power the furnaces properly. And then actually from that we'll do the same thing with a sort of strip sugarcane slime block flying machine thingy. I mean, these are great, but if we're going to have villagers that trade one piece of paper for one emerald, and we're going to have like 20 of them, we're going to need a lot more sugarcane than that. So yeah, that might be quite good to get prepped on that. Now one thing I do really want, that's maybe a bit stupid, is an ice farm. There's an ice tundra, whatever you call it, biome over there just behind the iron farm. And I think even though we have the ridiculous iron farm which makes more iron than we need, as you can see I make things out of the iron blocks, it'd be easier to transport items, not using many hoppers, that kind of thing in water streams. Yeah, so an ice farm would be quite good. Next I'm going to put this up here. Now this symbolises a cactus farm to replace this zero-tick one. Once I replace these farms I'm going to take this down anyway. But B, it also represents dyes. I want to be able to get renewable dyes. So this is going to be a massive project because we have renewable red dye. We have kind of renewable blue dye. We will do once we have a villager training hall set up, because we have villagers. I think is the cleric trades emeralds for lapis, so we can have renewable blue, renewable green from the Cactus Farm, renewable white from Bonemeal, and then renewable black from an ink farm. So it might actually be smart to put this down for the black dye farm to remind me, which, because as I was just running off to get this, I remembered you can get them from black dye from wither roses. Might be easier, I don't know, I have to look into both of them. But yeah, once I have all of those dyes, everything else can be made, I think. Oh, and brown dye. Yeah, I need brown dye. But I think this is probably going to give us as much as we ever need, and I don't think you can ever fully automate it because you have to replace them. So yeah, I think that should be fine. But yeah, after that, what cyan is blue and green, which we've discussed. Red and white makes pink. Red, blue, and white makes magenta. Black and white makes grey and light grey. So yeah, that's what we need to work on. So next, I want to put that up there. So that's going to be a cobblestone TNT farm, which will feed into the same thing as our wood farm. Now, that can be automatic. At the moment, I'm struggling to get stone because I don't have Silk Touch, but I wanted to put Silk Touch back on my pickaxe. But either way, I can either get this because I have Silk Touch, or if I don't have Silk Touch, I can get this and smelt it because I've got the bamboo farm. Just to get a lot of those resources, I tend to find I can run out of stone and cobblestone from time to time. Next up on the board, we're going to throw that up. That is for food. Now that might have to be bumped up depending on how we do with the current stock of food that I've got from slaughtering cows for all these item frames. But the reason I put chicken up there rather than the steak or the beef is because I know you could do automatic chicken cookers, dispenses, kills the chickens, whatever, and cooks it. I don't know about the beef ones, if you could do that with cows. If not, we might have to incorporate the super smelter, so it might just be easier to do chicken farm. Pumpkin and melon farms, just getting night time. Just for trading. I know we've got the sugarcane, but you know, you can never have too many emeralds. I don't know if you can have automatic netherwall farms, but I would like to try. So these aren't going to be in order anymore because I've just thought of the fact that I want a creeper or gunpowder farm of some kind. That's going to be for rockets for the elytra, and then I tell you what, that is going to just symbolise having my elytra. I don't want to put them out here in case the creeper comes along and they blow up and despawn or whatever. But yeah, Phantom Farm, this is what this is, a Phantom Farm of some kind. Hopefully by this point we'll have been end busting again, and we may have got another set of elytra, which we can use the villager trading hall to get a mending book for. I don't know. Speaking of, actually, I think I'm going to. This can be the Gunpowder Farm and symbolise the Elytra Phantom Farm. That emerald symbolises XP, so we need a good XP farm. I guess trading with the villagers is going to be a good XP farm, but we could do with one for enchantments and repairing and things like that, and putting the enchantments we get from books onto our gear. So that's all I can think of for now. Alongside all of this, obviously, we are going to work on the base, we're going to work on the storage system. Probably once an episode I'll gather a couple of things up for the storage system and keep them in those things, maybe put a couple of chests around. And yeah, make the house look a bit nice and maybe go a bit higher. I don't know, I've never done this before. And I've stayed on a map for this long. Okay, so to round off episode 0, just a quick little bit about me. So my name's Danny, and I have been playing Minecraft for many years. I used to play it back on my Xbox 360. I used to play it sort of before Pistons and stuff were in it. Love the game. Problem is, I was never very good at it. I didn't know how to do big farms, I didn't know how to do complex builds and whatnot. So I never used to spend too long in a world. So as I've said multiple times, this is the longest I've ever spent in one Minecraft seed. So with a bit of spare time on my hands from everything that's going on in the world and in the UK at the moment, I thought, I'm playing anyway, I might as well record and stick it on YouTube and see if you guys get some enjoyment out of it. So hopefully I'll be playing a lot of Minecraft and recording it, and you'll get regular episodes from me. I'm potentially going to branch into some other games, maybe some more retro games. I've got some arcade classics and things like that I'd love to play and see how far we can get and things like that. But you guys let me know what you want me to do. I think I'm going to stick with the Minecraft for the time being. But yeah, if you have any ideas, please feel free to let me know, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers!